All right, so let's look at confidence intervals. This video I'm going to do confidence intervals where sigma is known, and I'm going to be doing it in Excel. So if you watch my other video on confidence interval where sigma is known, I worked it out by hand, and the problem you're looking at right now, that's where I worked it. And I'm going to do the same problem in Excel, and we can compare the answers we get in Excel versus the one we get here. So, well, let's go ahead and get started. So it says an athlete jogs 2 miles every day. The standard deviation of his times is sigma is 1.8 minutes. He has recorded his times over a period of 90 days. For these 90 times, the 90 times he has recorded, the mean X bar is 15.6 minutes. Let mu be the mean jogging time for the entire distribution of his 2 mile running times. All right, so we want to do a 95% confidence interval for mu. Okay, so if you remember the confidence interval where sigma is known is X bar minus E is less than mu less than X bar plus E, where E is Z sub C times the square times sigma over the square root of n. C is the confidence level, and that's between 0 and 1, and Z sub C is the critical value for the confidence level C based on the standard normal distribution. All right, so you can see that we need Z sub C, we need sigma, we need n, and we need E. Okay, we need all of that, and we need X bar, which in this case was given to us. So let's go over to Excel. You can write these formulas down, and if you want, you can see where's the problem. And you can write the sigma, X bar, n. Okay, you can write all those down, and it's a 95% confidence level. I'm fixing to switch over to Excel, so if you need to write that down, you can. So let's switch over to Excel. All right, so here we are in Excel, and you can see I already have it. I've already got this set up. I've got alpha. I'll explain that in a minute. Sigma, n, X bar, and then E, and then my confidence interval. So the gray area, that's the values you're going to enter. Okay, you'll type those in. This one is going to have a formula, and this one, our confidence interval, will have a formula there. So you can type alpha, and let me just show you how to do that. So for alpha, all you have to do is go here to the Insert tab and go to Symbols and insert a symbol. And I have mine right here, recently used. But if you go up here to and pull this down and scroll down to this Greek and Coptic, then you can see it's right there. And you just hit insert and then close, and you can see it inserted it there. All right, and same thing for sigma. If we wanted to enter that in, we would go to Symbols, Symbol, and let's see, we go to the Greek, and let's see, and there's sigma right there, and we would just hit insert and close. Okay, now you see this X bar I have. The way that we would do that is we would just type in X and then go to Symbols, Symbol, and then it's this see, combining diacritical marks. Click that, and we want the bar over it. Okay, so you can just click, there's a long one and there's a short one. you know, whichever one. If we wanted to do the long one, we would hit insert and close, and you can see it puts the bar over the X. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So let's look at alpha. Okay, so what's alpha? Well, let me switch back over here to this first. So we want a 95% confidence interval. Okay, that's what we want. Well, alpha is equal to 1 minus the 0.95, which is 0.05. Okay, so this would be your alpha. And the reason we're doing that is because the formula we use to calculate the values, it wants the 0.05 in the Excel formula. So that's how you get to that. All right, so here, let's see. Let's go back to Excel. And so we know that alpha, that's the 1 minus 0.95. And if your confidence interval, if they wanted 85%, it would be 1 minus 0.85. Okay, but we're doing a 95%, so this is 0.05. And just hit enter. And then sigma, if you remember from the problem, sigma was 1.8. N was 90. He recorded 90 times. X bar they gave us, that was 15.6. And now E. Okay, so what Excel does is it has a formula to calculate E, okay, for confidence intervals. So what we can do is we can hit this f of x or f sub x, and when you're at the all, just click on the first one and just type in C, and it'll take you down to the C's, and then we'll scroll down to confidence norm, and you can see they want alpha. Okay, so that's why we did the confidence interval, the 0.95 or 95%. We did the 1 minus 0.95 because that's what Excel wants, is alpha. Okay, and so alpha, okay, I'm going to click this and I'll select this cell. Okay, and then it wants the standard deviation. Okay, the population standard deviation. Remember, population standard deviation is sigma. Sample standard deviation is S. And I'll do a video later where we do the S value. Okay, so I hit OK. Whoop, I'm sorry. I messed that up. Let me start over. Alright, so I'll just get there. Do this real quick. Okay, so alpha, that's here. Okay, and now standard deviation. So click here. I'll choose my standard deviation. And then it wants the size, okay, the sample size, which in this case was 90. And so I hit OK, and there it calculates E for me. All right, so now my confidence interval, remember, is X bar minus E to X bar plus E. And what we'll do is we'll write it like this as an interval. I know that in the formula here I had it written like this. This is just written as an inequality, and all I'm doing is writing it as an interval. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Okay, so let's come here to Excel, and I'll have this workbook on my website, and I'll put a link in the description of how to get to this, and you can see it'll have the mean where sigma's known, the mean sigma unknown, and for the proportion confidence intervals. Okay, so all three will be in one workbook, but I'm gonna do one video per per sheet. All right, so here I want to write this formula so that it's an interval. So I'm going to hit equals, okay? And so I need a parenthesis. So in quotes, I'm going to put a parenthesis. And then I want to combine it, okay? So right after the parenthesis, I need x bar minus e. So I'm going to do x bar minus e, okay? And, okay? Then I need a comma. So I'm going to do quote, comma, quote. That's going to put a comma between the two numbers. And I can also, let me get back up here. Okay. And I can also put a space here, and it'll leave a space between the numbers and the comma. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to hit and after the comma, I need x bar plus e. And then I need close parentheses. So quote, close parentheses, quote. And so I hit enter, and there's my answer. Okay. So that's how you do this in Excel. So you can see here we got 15.2281. Okay. And then over here when we worked it out by hand, we got 15.23 rounded off. Okay. So you can see when we did it by hand, that was pretty close to what Excel got. Okay. So I hope this video helped. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my other videos. Thanks.